red Solo cup. I fill you up. Let's have a party. Let's have a party.
Tuesday. All day. Well, I think we hit a high today of 4 below, and there's a warning going in effect at midnight all the way through Thursday that we'll see 30 below. And as we speak, Alec357 is turning his air conditioning on. What are we looking at? Lazy Magnolia Indian Summer Wheat Ale, and 4.8%. So far, honestly, I think this Lazy Magnolia, but the only one that I really liked is that Timber Beast. That was pretty good. The pecan isn't bad. Did a little, for the fun of it, did a little mixing the other night. I mixed half a 1050 and half a Southern Pecan, and actually that was pretty tasty. And there was absolutely nothing on this cap, so you didn't miss anything. And using this mug, really kind of digging this one. Thank you, New York Half-Ass Prepper. And speaking of New York Half-Ass Prepper, there was a beer call today. He re-hooked me up with the stuff that I can honestly say, if I could afford it, would be my daily drink. A bunch of stuff from 6 Point Brewery. We got some resin, and some more global warming, and some more 1050. As you can see, it's got carbonation, not much head. Kind of smells like a pilsner. Cheers. It's drinkable for a wheat. It's kind of like a pilsner with more of a sweet caramel taste to it. So if I was to, say pick, any domestic pilsner, or say this at the same price point, I think I'd actually lean towards this. And considering that's a wheat. Got a little bit of a dry bitterness to it, right at the kind of towards the finish. The finish itself is just kind of smooth, no nasty aftertaste or anything like that. On the E scale, another one, probably say give it a 4. It's not terrible. If I was at the store, would I buy it? No, I wouldn't buy it, because if I was at the store, they better have more than just this. If someone came over, would I have a tantrum and just not have any beer? No, I drink it. So by now, all you guys that follow politics, which would be alcohol and politics, would be most of you guys. How about the shit tube wearing human skin, if that's even human skin? I think it's just a shit tube. Oh, and 1136. That's how many days? Yep, the kiss-ass media is already downplaying, shaking Castro's hand You know, aren't they holding one of our holding an American citizen? Oh yeah, since 2009. You know, someone like say Bush wasn't my. I mean, to be honest, I I can't think of a president that I would. You know, if it was me and him in an airplane and it was going down, there was one parachute, I'd thank him for his service as I jumped out with the parachute and left him behind to die. There hasn't been, as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been a president worth a shit since Reagan. But at least Bush had the balls to walk past someone like Castro. Actually, I think it was his brother, the actual Fidel Castro. I think he walked right past him and never shook his hand. And Obama was like, "You're awesome." That was kind of disturbing. But it just goes to show who he is. You know, this is a guy that'll, give our enemies the rights to nuclear weapons and try to disarm us American citizens. That's called a piece of shit in my book. Woo-wee! Can I have us a global warming? Anybody that has seen this and given my recommendations, have any of you been able to find this at your local establishment? I mean, I feel for you because I know I can't. God damn it, man! Just look at all that color. I don't know though. I can tell you one thing. The one thing that is a fear this time of the year is definitely glad my mailman comes late in the day. Do not want stuff like this sitting out on the porch long. Negative 30 degrees tomorrow. That's gonna be some real cold beer. I mean, even these heavier hitters like this guy at 7%. I don't think they're gonna survive into the negatives. Yeah, that's much better. Ooh, New York Half-Ass Prepper, man. Wasn't expecting anything and got home and So as though the box of or Spam can 440 rounds of 7.62 by 54R wasn't enough. Hey, as a side note, that was a long time ago. Just kind of being a smart ass. In my video I made the let's see, it was the what to look for, or is it the what to look for when purchasing a Mosin Nagant video of mine. Made the comment that I wasn't quite sure what the R stood for, if it was Russian or rimmed. For years I could have put an annotation up on screen. No shit, I know it means rimmed. You can look right at the shell, but just for the fun of it, I don't. If I had $10, I'd retire. But even if I had $1 for every single time someone has said the R definitely stands for rimmed, I'd be buying beer with it. But yesterday I was sitting on chatting with Heffy67 and Alex, and my brother-in-law came over. Yeah, that's awesome right there. 50 rounds of 300 grain Gold Dot with 25 grains of, and I don't remember the powder he used. He told me, he goes, "You're gonna notice those when you pull the trigger." So 454 Casula right there. It's that. I told you I was just out making brass. You know, he's been dying to use the 454 Casull dies that I bought him. You know, the thing that sucks is when I actually do get to start reloading, I'm gonna have to go buy all these dies that I've already bought in once, because my brother-in-law is just way too kind. I usually, not usually, I've tried to give him money and he never wants to take the money. So the least I do is I try to sneak supplies into his collection, or pick him up some brass or some projectiles. But that came as a, well, those are the brass that we shot, or at least some of them must have just bought 50 projectiles, because yeah, I don't remember how many rounds I used up all the MagTech. I used up both the boxes of Underwood that I brought out. I used up all but 5 shots that I saved of the Winchester Silver Supreme. If you've ever had the chance to fire a 454 Casull, unless there's something, I know this is just a setup for Chuck. I know unless there's something wrong with me, fill in the blanks, Chuck. I just couldn't stop shooting that handgun. That just an awesome, and I'm glad that Ms. Bomey got the opportunity to shoot it. Granted, I didn't. In the event that she actually enjoyed it and wanted to shoot it again, I didn't want to, well, first of all, I didn't want to injure her. That's why I gave her those MagTech, the 225 grain, because those were, I think I made the comment the last time we talked about this, that was those 454 Casull rounds from MagTech were the equivalent to a 38 special being shot out of a 357 Magnum. So I can't wait to try these, though. My brother-in-law is a recoil freak himself, so all of his 44 mag that he loads it right to the top of the recommendation. He never goes over, but I don't remember what powder. It doesn't even matter, because the only thing I even know about is the 10 millimeter that he loads for me. He usually uses Blue Dot for that. Other than that, yeah, politically, I think this whole thing for all these people getting together and celebrating someone who, yeah, he may have done a whole bunch of greatness, but the reason that he was in jail is basically he's a terrorist. So, hats off to the Sheriff Joe, and I can't think of the other guy that I posted the thing on over at the Guild, refused to. We should not be flying our flags at half-mast for any other leader. I don't give a flying shit if it was Mother Teresa herself. That's not what that flag is flown at half-mast, and the fact that we flew it at half-mast for him is it's just a sign of who this administration is. But to actually shake his hand, what's your thoughts on that? Me, I think it would have been fun to do something like this. Ah, fuck you! And just kept on walking. That's what I would have done right there. Maybe even did the double tap on him. Fuck you. Oh, I'm just kidding, man. No, fuck you. Send our guy back. Drop a nuke on your ass. If every single car was destroyed in Cuba, the total insurance loss would be about $1,300. Oh yeah, that's enough. I do have one question, though. What do you think they scribbled off there? The radioactive symbol? What should we look at tomorrow? Let's look at one from New York Half-Ass Prepper. Belgium's Brewing West Founders Ale. I hope the beer is newer than the two guys on the cover. This is 5.5% by volume. This is a product of Belgium. Thought it was with an N. Well, see, we got M on that one. So okay. Yeah, there's not really any information. It's a West Founders Ale, and we'll be taking a look at it tomorrow. And it's not real dark. And then we're gonna probably have to nail a few of these seasonals. I am going to go enjoy a global warming, which, as a side note, yeah, I know it's like we were gonna go, and you can go if you want to. I don't care. As far as global warming goes, exactly how long is this gonna go on before someone just walks up to Al Gore and says, you know what? You have got to be one of the biggest hypocrite pieces of shit walking the earth. Global warming. First of all, I have to honestly say, I never, ever fell for the shit. It's like, how long has the earth been around? Of course, we could have a debate about that. I personally don't think it's, as old as some of the stats show. I personally think the carbon dating is flawed. Like, for instance, the Grand Canyon. It was created over millions of years. That small trickle just cut all that shit out. I personally think there was probably one epic event, and due to like cavitation, a lot of damage happened in a fairly short amount of time. But that's just me. As far as global warming goes, though, there's no scientific evidence other than, someone like Al, the douchebag Gore, that's pretty much made a very substantial living for himself, provocating a lie. You can only go back so far in time when we were keeping track of this shit. It's called a cycle, you dumbass. Yeah, that was to Al Gore, not you guys. It'd be great if Al Gore, like, actually, some reason, like, stumbled across the thing and found, it's like, that guy just called me a dumbass. And he's right. I am. I'm gonna go get in my privately owned jet and have my 25 Suburbans follow me around and preach about how we need to save the planet. Yeah, it's just one of those moments where you just, keep the camera on and stand here and drink. I just got back from the store, got the fixings making homemade nachos tonight. Ms. Bomey, a lot of taco seasoning has like MSG, and a lot of people are sensitive to that, and as she is, it'll give her a headache or something, start of a migraine or something like that. So I actually make all my own taco seasoning, and it's pretty simple. You just have to be able to stay on top of it. But so someone wants to make a soft shell taco, they can, but me personally, I just take the chips and cover it in cheese and melt them and then build up from that, kind of like a flat taco salad. So that's what I'm having tonight. So until then, it's me and you and the global. This is a global warming that I can seriously get behind. Mm. Oh yeah. Thoughts on that too? Any of you guys actually believe for a second that there's global warming? I mean, they can't even. They're finding holes in the ozone that have like fixed themselves. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. This is my honest feelings on this. I believe that I at least try to be a good steward of my little environment. I don't go out in the backyard in the fire pit and burn tires and styrofoam. Well, I've done that. I don't burn tires in the well, not in this fire pit. I never burned a tire. Might have happened when I had a bonfire one time out at the house formerly known as mine and the life formerly known as mine, when I was married to the cheating slut whore spawn of Satan ex-wife of mine. But yeah, she's I miss her so much. But with the right scope and a little bit, a little bit of lead, I wouldn't miss her anymore. When I moved in, the owner that I bought the house from was a lazy, fat piece of shit, and the people that owned the house before they did kept up the yard really nice, and like, let's just for the sake of, because it fits on the screen, the yard was that big, 2 owners ago. And then the guy that I bought the place from, he, stopped mowing this much and then stopped mowing that much, and was mowing about that much. So there was like this definite, you could tell where everything was cleared. Well, being that she was such a wonderful, wonderful wife, I wanted to spend so much time out in the yard by myself with the dog that I just kept making the yard bigger and bigger, and I actually mowed and maintained 3¼ acres of lawn. And as we slowly opened the yard back up, we, as in me, opened the yard back up, there was like dead trees, and the guy that I bought the place from had lived there for 10 years, and surprise, surprise, I found 10 spent Christmas trees. He just dragged it out and just tossed it as far as it would go into the woods, and I cleared all that out, and all the big pine trees out front, I cleared them so that you could at least get under them with the tractor for mowing, and I ended up with this bonfire of epic proportion. I think you could probably easily seen it on a Google Earth shot of Minnesota. That was a good time. There might have been a few things at that point in time that would have been questionable in the fire. One of them was my Jack Russell Terrier, not this one, but the one that we had before this one, Daxie. She had issues, and one of them was actually fire, and as the fire was burning, and there was like a pop, and a spark went and actually went like more into the fire. She actually jumped to try to get the burning ember as she went into the fire, as I ran and grabbed her and scooped her out, and her her face and her whiskers were like a little bit on fire. Yeah, not the dog was obsessive. Maybe not the brightest bulb in the tree. Missed that little shit. She was by far the most unique and greatest dog I've ever had, and Shelby would be second. And I remind Shelby all the time that she's second best. Okay, so yeah, I have never given an ounce of my brain cell to thinking that there was ever such a thing as global warming. It was always bullshit. It was always about who was going to get rich and more control over us. You know, how much emissions can be spewed. And I guess I've never lived in a place where that was an issue. If any of you are like in California and there's like a smog, stuff like that, yeah, I don't know what you can do about that. Because if it came down to saving the environment or driving driving and maintaining a car that got like 5 miles per gallon and went 300 miles an hour, I'd say screw you, environmentalist. I'm taking the car and I'm going to smoke big cigars and toss styrofoam cups out the window the whole way to work. So I might have been a little misleading when I said I was an actual good steward of the planet. Okay, I'm gonna go have tacos, nachos technically, and again, New York Half-Ass Prepper, thank you, and the mid to low range beer was provided by Blue Thunder 40. There'll be links below. Of course, I've said this 1,000 times, and if by now you're not subscribed to Gerry's channel, I endlessly give him shit. But in all honesty, it was an honor to finally get a chance to meet him at the shoot this year and shake his hands. He's a true brother in multiple sense, and if anyone is, especially people like Gerry and New York Half-Ass Prepper, as we speak, they are deep behind enemy lines right here in the United States, fighting for the Second Amendment and your rights to drink, in this case, shitty beer everywhere. On the other hand, New York Half-Ass Prepper usually has been pretty much hitting them out of the park lately. Must have taken me off his clearance list and put me on the good shit list. I was warned, though. You have to accept the bad with the good. This is good. So, we will talk to you later. And again, thanks guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And we'll take a look at the whatever the hell it was with the guys with the straw hats on it. And then we'll probably have a bunch of unless somebody PA Brew News, if that package arrives and it isn't frozen solid as a rock, we might have some good stuff to be thrown in rotation. Because I know Paul doesn't deal much with the clearance rack. And Paul, his last brew review was he was completely naked, and he reviewed a pumpkin, which I also took a look at. I liked it, but not an all night or a continuous thing. Just that select little couple of weeks of the year is definitely worth a try. It definitely had some good flavor for what it was. I really liked it, and Paul just reviewed it in a hot tub with no clothes on. That was the first damn thing I saw this morning, and that was okay. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'm gonna continue to make sure that this global warming is all okay. So see you guys tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Yeah, I need more. I gotta walk all the way over there.